just showed me a video of Roger Cook signing off as Premier. Well, the person signing off with him or signing him in was a purported governor who was the ex-Commissioner of Police, Christopher John Dawkins, who was the Minister for Vaccinations. Well, the problem with that, he is guilty of the deaths of all the people who got vaccinated with, and so are you, Roger Cook. You were the health minister, and you're claiming all the people in Western Australia have put their faith in you. No, there were no lawful candidates. You obviously have little or no perception of what a lawful candidate is, and you're not that. You are some clown in a political party who was involved with another clown and put together the Acts Amendment Repeals Court and Legal Practice Act and removed the Crown out of our system. So, if you removed it out, under what authority you're sitting? And if you removed it out, which you did, and with the Acts Amendment Repeal, no, with the Oath Affidavits and Statutory Declarations Act, that was the one you used to remove Schedule E to your constitution, the wrong one, for the state constitution. You removed that and took the Crown out of there, the oath to the Crown. Don't say you didn't, you did. All the time it's sitting in the middle of the original state constitution, which you have ignored, thinking that you know better than anybody else, and because you work for a union as a thug, or whatever else you like to call them when you run around collecting money and pushing the union garbage, now you claim that we chose you. Well, there's 1.89 million people registered for voting in this state according to your statistics. There's 3 million people roughly in this state could vote according to your statistics. All I want you to do, if you are praising people for putting their faith in you, Roger Cook, here's the one for the truth. Where is, you referred to people of Western Australia, that would roughly include the majority. So where is the majority of people who voted? Where are the numbers that voted for you, according to you, in a lawful election, according to you? That lawful election did not exist, has not existed. Why? Because you have to have the state constitution in place. The governor that you went before, who isn't one, he isn't one. He got sworn in by Governor Kyle in 1979. The oath he took was not the one contained in the Constitution. How do I know that? Because most of the books and documents that I've been presenting come from Governor Kyle. Why? Because he thought the system was corrupted, and it is. He was correct. Are they lawful documents? Oh yeah, very much so. Have I checked it out? Yeah. Go to the archives of the State Library in different places. You can check them out to be truth. Now, there's a lot of clowns come on here, trolls. I like making fun of them sometimes, but when they come out with stupid claims, Anne Toomey from her office with all her books, and me here, you haven't seen half the books I got. You haven't seen the tons of documents I've got which prove what I say. If you took the time to question what I said, or brought me before a court, I challenged the jurisdiction of the court and they conceded. What did they concede to? No oath of allegiance under the Magistrates Court Act. The same as Christopher Milosevic. He conceded to the oath that I told him in relation to their council. He hadn't sworn the lawful oath. He had to swear an oath to the reigning monarch to be a magistrate. In this case, a stipendiary magistrate elected under imperial law from justices of the peace, which are clergy of a church, the Church of England, the protesting church, which is a division of the Roman Church. Now, in the Unidroit Treaty, Gough Whitlam thought he moved it back in. He can't do that. Not one person has any authority in this country. If you're representing us, you needed our permission. You didn't do it. So it stands that the Inuit Treaty is a load of garbage, along with the 300 Acts he passed in 1972. That's why I went back to the good ship Lollipop, as depicted by Brian Shaw, that I shouldn't be going back there. I should just stick to 1972. So when there's a big happening and you get evidence together against people, you should go to the middle of what they did and forget about the first bit that started it all, when the initial crime was committed. The initial crime was committed at Federation when John Forrest failed to put the complete, correct state constitution in place. Western Australia was not constituted, and because it was not constituted, you had 5 of the 6 people you needed to create the first federal parliament. 6 states, rather, and we never had it. So you were not voted in by the people of Western Australia, Roger Cook. You were voted in by a corrupt criminal system. And believe me, we haven't stopped dealing with that. Are we going to listen to you? No, because we can ignore everything you do with impunity. Oh, you've got penalties for it. You ought to see the penalties that come from the people, which are unlimited under the provisions of Clause 61 of Magna Carta. Go to your courts, they're a joke. Half the magistrates sit in the court don't even know what time of day it is, let alone what truth is. They study, they take an oath to lie for the better good. How does that one work? Daylight savings, I see what you say, Liz. You can't save time. You don't save anything. You literally just start work 2 hours early for benefit of who? If New South Wales does it, that's insanity. Because that puts Western Australia a couple of hours right out of the way. Not the same time frame. We already got 2 hours difference, so it just messes everything. Who this? Bovine, you need to update all your documents into digital format to keep them safe. No, I don't. I've got them in digital format, but I've got them concealed in another place where these clowns can't get at them or know who I am. They know who I am, and they would like to destroy the stuff I've got. But no, I'm not going to do anything like that. I've already got it. The police came in and searched my own personal caravan, because that's how I choose to live. 25-foot caravan, it's a mobile house. But it means I can move. I don't like the surroundings. And how do you buy a block of land when you don't own it anymore? That come from Roger Cook's predecessor. They took it off because they created the titles as Torrens titles. It has nothing to do with the wording on them. Fee simple means alienated from the Crown under Chalice real property. The rest is a lie. Anyway, I'm not rambling on anymore. I've finished with this. I've got other things to do today. Any questions, post on here and I'll answer them for you. Roger Cook, no one voted you in. It was all manipulating of lies and fraud. Prove it isn't. Prove it isn't. Prove you had the constitutional authority to do what you did. You can't do that. And prove you had lawful candidates. You didn't. None of you. Didn't matter what political party. Is here in New South Wales still a penal colony? It sure feels like, well, probably does, Julie. But Western Australia originally wasn't a penal colony, but you don't worry about things like that. They'll soon find a reason why they are penal colonies. But to my knowledge, the majority of people either died or were pardoned, and therefore if you're pardoned, you're no longer a criminal. But if you keep somebody bound to what they did originally, especially if you stole a loaf of bread because you were hungry and you got life in a penal colony, that's not very bright. But anyway, you're in a penal colony under the current parliament because it treats you as slaves and crims. Anyway, I'll catch you later.